A cruise control clutch switch on a 2001 Jetta. There's two clutch switches. After 2000 it was a blue one like this that was in charge of cruise control, and then above it is a white one that is used for the ignition interlock, so that you supposedly shouldn't be able to start the car without depressing the clutch. So this failed recently for me. I had kind of months or even a year or two of intermittent cruise control. It seemed to work when it was warm out, when the ambient temperature was, in the 70s or 80s. It would work usually. If it was colder in the winter, it almost never worked. So I thought it would be interesting to show how this works. It's now been superseded by a different design, but to show how it works and how it failed. So right here, it's in the position that it would be when this part originally shipped and was installed. So what I'll do is, I've kind of broken these little areas that hold in the mechanism, and I can just push it out. So you'd have to... I'll show how this works in a second, but just take note of this little black nub here is actually the physical contact point. The other physical contact point is not visible right now because it's in the uninstalled position. So I'm going to rotate this, and this switch, when it was installed, had to be the clutch had to be depressed, and that allows you to rotate it into the installed position. So I'm just rotating here, and it's just a cylinder with a plunger and a spring inside. The first switches apparently usually fail from the spring, but that's not what happened here. And I've just rotated it into the installed position. And what I've done on the cylinder is I've rotated out the second portion of the mechanism, which is difficult to see. But you see now a white plastic T. That's the other physical contact point. And the way this works is this is depressed. It's closest to me right now. And that is the clutch pedal not depressed. The way that would work is this would sit in here just like, just like this. And when that white plastic T pushes against the black nub, you can see the circuit would be open or closed. So the way this failed on mine, it's almost impossible to see, but the front portion of that white plastic T just degraded, and there was little pieces of plastic that kind of fell out when I took this out, and it's just from the contact with that little black piece. You also see that just the tens of thousands of depressors and uses of the clutch has rounded off and worn down the plastic here too. So I was hoping to do a cheap fix, but instead I just ordered a new switch from ID Parts for 20 bucks. Not bad. But I initially actually replaced the cruise control stock, and wish I had used the VCDS that I bought, and I would have been able to eventually find that this was the actual culprit.